Hello, men. This is Man. We are in trouble.
All right. Finally, we are all here. How's everyone doing? This is season 2, the second episode. No, just kidding. This is the first episode of season 2 of the Man, We're in Trouble podcast with a brand new format that we're trying here, guys. So today I am joined by Ed, Matt, Groove, and my brother Brendan. Of course, my name is Mitch. Thank you all for being here. Hope you all enjoy what we have in store for today. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So Ed, I'll have you go first.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, man. So I'm a big video game player. Been playing a lot of Call of Duty, but my heart belongs to Battlefield. And found out this week that the new beta is out for multiplayer through my dad, who used to never play video games. And now he's hooked, man. And it's kind of weird, but because he lives back home, not in the United States. And we, my parents divorced when we were young, so that was kind of messy. We didn't have a super close relationship, and we've rekindled, we reestablished that relationship after college. Now that I've gotten older, and since my dad started gaming, it's been a really good way for us to really stay in touch. We used to call each other maybe once every 2 weeks, and now we're chatting almost every other day. So it's been pretty dope. Yeah, who would have thought that I was gonna be in my 30s gaming with my 56-year-old dad? Yeah, so
Which
that's
one of
pretty
y'all's
dope.
which
Pretty
one of
good.
y'all's
I'm all for it.
which one of y'all's better on the sticks? Who's winning?
Ah, dude. Okay, so when I started playing with him, he was kind of like, Boomer's first baby steps on a controller. And now he's like, okay, where's the sniper? Tell me where he's at. I'll take him out. Don't you stand over there. Like that, he's good. He doesn't do anything else. He's off all day playing video games. I'm so jealous.
Is he like fully retired?
Full blown government retirement from back home. Like
So he's
medical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Did you not have any other thing to connect with before? Or is this why is this so kind of shocking? I don't know. I don't know your relationship.
So he was never a big gamer at all. He always looked at gaming kind of like your typical, minority father, like, oh, it's a waste of time. You need to be getting good grades. And like I said, when my parents divorced when I was young, it was very messy. There was a lot of finger pointing. I was too young to understand it. As I grew up and as I got older and I started understanding the dynamics of what really happened, I actually started realizing that my dad wasn't the monster that my mother had made him out to be. So, but there was always that pent up hey, I'm sorry I treated you like shit for so long.
From you?
From both of us. And that was the biggest thing that made the turnaround for me was my dad. I always grew up with this dynamic that your parents never apologize. That's not a thing they did. And my dad was the first one to ever do that. And it just completely blew me away hearing my dad say look, I fucked up. I'm not perfect. And I could have done better. And I'm really sorry. And I'm going to try to do better. And that was the turnaround. And then when he retired, he really kind of didn't know what to do with all his time. And my other sibling lives in the States far away. And we just just to kill boredom, he buys an Xbox one day, and next thing you know, we're all gaming.
That's awesome, man. That's really great to hear. That's so hard for us these days, but we'll
Yeah.
No, it's really great to hear. Super positive. All right, let's keep it rolling with some more good things. Matt?
Yeah, I got one, and it seems we're on this family and parent dynamic today, so I'm just going to keep it going with that. So for me, kind of give you a little backstory, I have put a pause on my career to help with my parents' health. So a couple weeks ago, months ago, they found some nodules on my mom's lungs. She had a procedure to I think the word is biopsy and see what they are. And today we got the news, which, this is good and real. It is not cancer. So that's huge.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks guys. Cause it's at this point where if your parents are around still, I'm in my mid-30s, so a lot of my friends no longer have one or two of their parents, and that's unfortunate and a whole nother topic to speak about. I'm fortunate to still have both of mine. So I also have the fortunate ability to watch them age, which is scary. And it's kind of a fear of the unknown because I obviously haven't done this before. And it's their first time here as well. So navigating these medical appointments and these potential scares and procedures and waiting on all this information, it can be difficult. But today we got some good news, so I'll keep it on the positives. It's just something
Yeah.
that I am doing full time in my life at the moment, and happy that I got to share it with y'all.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Man. That's super great to
Yeah,
hear.
that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm a PA like in the my normal day-to-day job, so I'm just kind of curious medically, like did your mom just go in for like a regular checkup, or how did she know that she needed to get this x-ray or find these nodules? And then
So she had a stroke in November of 24. So like the week of Thanksgiving, and that kind of brought everything around. So, a lot of it was cardiovascular based. And from there, they guess were running some other tests because she acquired some rough cough while she was in the hospital. And they were like, all right, this cough sounds pretty bad and it's not going away. Found some nodules on the lungs, and this is kind of like, the process kept going. So that is how we ended up here. I hope that makes sense.
yeah, no, it does. Well, so what are they going to do with the nodules? Like, I mean, it's not while it's not cancerous, is it still a concern that it's there, or like what are they going to do?
So I don't think they're as concerned initially. So her follow-up's in like 6 months as opposed to like 3 months now. So I think they're just going to keep kicking the can down the road and hope that nothing ever comes from it. Um, which is a good thing. I hope. It's a win for today, right? Like it's a win for right now.
Yeah. Sure.
And I'm sure that lessened the impact on her because she's had, from a medical standpoint, a pretty rough past like 10 months. So, finding that out is great. And I'll give her some props because she's almost at 100% recovery. We're not out of the woods yet. She's not exactly the same as she was, and that's fine. But I mean, she's walking, talking, she's wanting to get back into bowling and arts and painting like she likes to do in her life. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you feel like this scare though caused any sort of like morality check of like, oh my gosh, like my mom may pass like in the near future if it was cancerous? Did that make you change anything from behavior wise of like spending more time with her or doing something else?
Yeah, I completely dropped my career and moved to Texas.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, like spot on. That's a really good question because it took me a little while to make that decision. Like it was on the back of my head when she had the stroke. I can remember exactly where I was. Like I found out, and like y'all want to hear the story? I'll make it kind of short.
Sure. Yes.
Cool. So I
Absolutely.
found
That's
out
what we're
in a
here for,
really-
man.
I found out probably in like one of the crappiest ways possible. It was a Thursday night, the week of Thanksgiving week. So it was November 21st on a Thursday. And I'm hanging out at my house by myself up in Louisville, Kentucky. I had a hockey game at like 10 p.m. So I'm just like, what do you do in between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. when you have a hockey game? You just kind of hang out. And I get a text message from my childhood next door neighbor. And she's just like, hey, Matt, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, for what? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, Matt, it's okay. Like, I'm just so sorry. I'm here for you if you need anything. And I'm like, yo, hey, girl, what are you talking about? I'm getting I'm like, yo, dude, hey, Rachel, if something happened, I legitimately do not know. I need you to call me. And she calls me and it's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, no one's talked to you today. And I'm like, no, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm freaking out. Like, what's going on? She's like, all I know is that my mom said that she saw your mom get into in the back of an ambulance and your dad's at the hospital with her. And I'm like, so gives an answer. And I'm just like, dude, oh my dad, like what's going on? So I'm like,
She hit you with that small town gossip.
so it's
My
like,
mom saw your mom.
yeah. So, but she doesn't live with her parents. Like she lives 3 hours away in another city in Texas. So I'm like, I'm freaking out, right? Like I'm like, dude, so one of my parents is dead right now. There's no way that like this is insane. I can't get a hold of my dad. Like my mom. So call my sister. And I'm like, hey, Allison. She's like, yeah, hey, Matthew, what's up? All positive. I'm like, I'm about to ruin your day. And I'm pretty sure I said that verbatim. Like, I was like, I'm about to completely ruin this great mood you're in. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to tell you what I know because our lives are probably about to change. I don't know, right? Like, so I eventually get a hold of my dad at like 9 p.m. and he tells me what has happened. And she's in the ICU and it was not looking very good the first couple days. Like she couldn't move her legs. She couldn't move her arms really. Like there was barely any ability to speak. And I'm sure Brendan, you know way better than I do. It's like those first couple hours and days are pivotal to like how they see that you're going to recover or not. So she had a pretty slim chance of getting to where she is right now. I think it was like 11% chance of surviving and a 7% chance. That's what they said, right? And a 7% chance of being like normal after this. And she hit both of those.
Wow.
Because they were like, you're not going to be able to walk for a year. I mean, the neurologist came in and was like doom and gloom. Like you're not going to be able to walk probably ever again without a walker. If even with a walker, you're going to be in the hospital for at least a year. Like was just boom, boom, boom.
Jesus.
That night I went and played my hockey game because I didn't know what else to do. Right. I went and played hockey. I scored 2 goals. Felt pretty cool about that because there was like an emotional thing. I came home, I packed up all of my shit and I drove 16 hours to Texas. And I
Damn.
here, and I stayed here. So it took me till the 23rd because it's a 16-hour drive, and I stopped and slept at a rest stop. But stayed here all the way until January. And around Christmas time, she came home from the hospital, so she was there for almost a full month. And I just made the decision. I need to get home. Like I don't think I'll ever regret making this decision to come down here and take care of my parents. And I do feel that I would regret not doing it later in my life. So there's my whole story.
No, that's like a mix with the probably tell me something good, tell me something real, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome that like you went from that point until now. You're finally at the end of it, where like probably is a huge sigh of relief, where you're just like, okay, all that almost trauma happened, and now you're just like at the end of it. You're like in the clear for now, and that it also exceeded expectations of what the doctor said, and it's most doctors should be honestly set. They try to set these expectations because if like. They try not to make promises about anything medical because most of the time, if you have that low of a chance, you don't want to tell people, oh yeah, you're going to recover, and then they die, and then they're going to, they want to set probably the lowest expectation to be like, this is what's real, and this is what can happen, and you need to be prepared. But anything that's better than that, you're going to be like, oh, fantastic. It is kind of a mental game from a medical standpoint, but that's honestly real. To set, because a lot of families like they have to hold on to hope, but if it's like if you have no hope at the beginning, then anything more positive than that is going to.
I get.
Yeah.
Like it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Listen, it might start you off at rock bottom.
Yeah.
Anything's a win.
I mean, seriously though, imagine being told, hey dude, you're probably not going to be able to walk again. And now you're walking just fine. You're like, yeah, man, I beat that.
My doctor, fucking Jesus.
I had a doctor. I knew a doctor. He was a cancer specialist. He was an ortho, oncology guy. So he dealt with a lot of, cases. And, I was talking to him and he was saying that he had seen so many cancer patients and he can almost tell who was going to do very well in the recovery versus who will not. And, I mean, it wasn't like research based, but showing up, like, and willingness to live and recover. And that comes from actually family being so involved in their care that gives them willingness to live. And he could basically tell who's gonna, do well and who's gonna not. And then he transferred the hospital and, he was like visiting or something like that. And one of the cancer patient had fully recovered, when he was doing very well and he was in a very bad shape. Uh, but he was telling me this story how, it was almost like you could tell like who has willingness to live and to pull it through and recover and do quite well. And family matters, right? Like
Yeah,
showing
and your
up.
mindset plays such a
Yeah.
huge,
But yeah,
such a huge role. Your
because,
mind-
I mean, there's a lot of time where people just give up. It's like, okay, I've lived my life and there is no need to continue, and so you are setting that expectation for yourself. And so you're just gonna go accordingly. But
Yeah,
yeah,
family support is a huge role in, I think, your desire to want to continue to live, push through. That's why it's really important sometimes where it's, even if there's some kind of family friction, that you put those aside and just say, hey, I forgive you and I want you to still be here because you're my parent type of thing. Not saying that's the easiest thing at all, but I think that's some things that we are at that age where we are having to grasp with these very real challenges as our parents age, as we get older, having to come to the crossroads of what do we do? Do we continue, like in these challenging situations, do we continue on with our lives as normal, as if our parents are going to be the way they are when we grow up? Or are we going to have to, like you, Matt, put everything away, move on to a new state and start over from scratch almost? And I think that's such a huge challenge that I think we're clearly all grasped, dealt with. But I don't know what are your thoughts on this very real touchy subject on we'll go along with the family, taking care of family and family, I guess, positive family role model and integration and like keeping in touch with love. What do you think? What do you recommend people to do in these types of things?
Well, I just want to point out that, oh,
No, you
uh,
go.
I just want to point out that as like, honestly, what Matt, you did, like, I would say is a very, like, if we're talking about being a man, like, that's actually like one thing that that's like a very manly thing to do, to like give up. Some people think that it's manly to, you just push it away, or, but honestly, like, I feel like that's the manliest thing you can do, is just give up what you feel like, your personal life, and then get back to your family, because they, you know, they raised you, and now you're having to help them too. And that's honestly like a big thing that I think men don't do as
being
much.
decisive. I guess like being very decisive, right? I mean, like you thought over it, but I mean, you weren't thinking for 3 weeks or a month. Seems like you had a thinking to do, and you probably made a decision in like a day or two. And
I
I
think it
think
goes one step further. I think it goes
uh,
one step further, and just like you're showing love, which I think is something that
yeah,
I think a lot of guys are struggling with showing. And like you clearly love your family, and that I think that in itself is just truly manly to be able to do something like that, or brave. Say manly, I think brave
mhm.
and be something like that. So yeah. And even if you made that decision very quickly, like it's still not an easy decision to make. To let me just pause my livelihood and go take care of this problem. Like because if there's something about the society in which we live, it's like a lot of men place so much of their self-worth and and value of themselves in what they do for a living. So if you're this career-oriented man that you've spent your entire life with the single goal of getting to this job, this position, to getting to this economic status, and now life just says, I need you to put that in pause to come take care of this. Like, I don't think I think there are dudes out there that would have a really hard time making that decision.
Yeah. Well,
I would agree.
to start, Brendan, it started with you. So Brendan, Drew, Mitch, Ed, thank you for all those kind things y'all said. Because I'm obviously not doing this to get praise and compliments, right? But it is nice to hear it because it is hard, right? And everyone kind of looks at me crazy when they're like, well, what are you going to do for work? Like, you didn't come down here with a job. You don't have a plan. Like, no, I do have a plan. And part of that plan was for the past decade plus, I didn't frivolously spend all of my money away to where I am struggling to be able to like pay bills or put food on the table right now. You have a nest egg, hopefully, if you can afford to do that. And I planned and I didn't buy a bunch of fancy stuff for the past decade or so. That's besides the fact, but like, that's kind of a lot of what I get. And it's like, oh my God, like you don't have a job, you don't have this, you don't have that. And that's fine. Not everybody needs to understand why I did it. I know why I did it. And it sounds like,
That's it.
like
Yeah.
y'all get it. Y'all see where I'm coming from here. Um, and I am confident enough in my skills and my abilities that I can find a job. I know that much, but I want to find the right job that gives me the flexibility to take care of my parents and stay where I am right now. Um, so Mitch, you did ask me a question a second ago, which was like, what advice would I give to other people in similar situations or just in general when it comes to like parents aging? A big one
Yeah.
is to not do the avoidant strategy. And like you kind of see it in like relationships when they're just like, well, I'm just going to kind of avoid that maybe my partner's treating me bad, or maybe something is happening behind closed doors that I don't know about, and take that same principle to this scenario. I had a family member that I'm just going to avoid the reality of this and just act like it's not happening. Right. But it is happening and it is real. And if you avoid it, you're going to cause more pain to yourself and possibly your family members in life. So it's going to be hard for anyone that's listening that might be dealing with this. It is going to be hard, but you only get to do this one time. So like obviously make the decision that works best for you, but don't ignore the fact that reality has set in and just don't avoid it.
I think I want to put a disclaimer. Uh, I mean, not everyone is in a luxury, first of all, to be able to do this.
Agreed.
But yeah, so, I mean, I just want to state that, everyone's
I'm
life
just telling everyone to don't
And
quit
yeah,
your jobs and
and
shit.
maybe
If you,
someone
like, don't do that.
someone didn't say someone bought a Lamborghini in the past decades that they have to pay for, now
Well,
they're
and
stuck with it. But
I want to add to like, there's another not so rosy reality that not everyone's family's healthy, and a lot of us also have toxic relationship with family members in which, like you said, Matt, don't ignore it. But the unfortunate reality is sometimes not ignoring it means knowing when to step away and knowing when it's best for not just you, but that other family member if you just go your separate ways. Like sometimes it is best to walk your separate ways. And the thing is, especially when we're talking about our relationships as adult men with our parents and other adult family members, is everyone's an adult. everyone's responsible and accountable for their actions. So, you might have one parent. You might have one parent that, in my case, I had a not the greatest childhood with my parents getting divorced. And with time, I was able to rekindle one relationship, and the other one has been tabled, and the other one's been given an opportunity to happen. And I just like Matt's advice, I didn't ignore it. I met it head on, and I wasn't able to find a solution or open a door to that one. It's like, okay, well, if you have to walk away from a relationship with a family member, especially a parent, it's not an easy thing to do, but it gets you can sleep at night knowing that you tried.
How did you know? How did you know when to walk away? Did you talk to someone? Was it a friend that said, this is toxic and you should move away? Or did you talk to a therapist? How did you know when the right time was to say, hey, I am putting more harm on myself, trying to fix the problem, than good? Was there something, or do you just come to that reality yourself?
I kind of came to that reality myself, but I ended up going to a lot of like psychiatrists or psychologists as a kid, like divorce counselors when you were a kid. And I feel like I kind of kept a lot of what I shared back then. And the big turnaround for me was that eureka moment, like I shared earlier, where I finally heard one of my parents apologize and take accountability, and that shit blew me away. And that was enough for me to say, I'm sorry too. I respect you so much more for admitting your fault. Like, to me, you always grow up with these male role model images of like men are tough, like they don't admit their mistakes, like you just suck it up and drive on. Like, nah, man, like to me, if you have the balls to say I fucked up, I can do better, I apologize, like that's huge to me. That's like the absolute epitome of maturity. I saw that from my dad. I didn't see that from my mom. From her side of the family, like I tried sitting down with her and saying, I'm not saying you are the entire problem. I am saying you are part of the problem. And I am admitting to having played a part in this myself. If you're willing to admit your half, I'll admit my half. We can put it behind us and we can move on. I was willing to make amends and change. The other party was not. And what do you do?
Yeah. Right.
Do you like though that, let's say she's just not ready to be, come meet you halfway? Are you still open if she were to be, or do you think that's
100%?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100%. But
Has she tried to reach out?
In such infuriatingly childish ways that when she tries to, she'll say like, "Oh, sorry, I butt dialed you," and I'm like,
Oh, God, that's worse.
nobody but I'm like, Mom, nobody but dials. Do you have something to say? Like talk to me, for fuck's sakes, say something. And she's like, no. Like, and I usually always close the conversation with, balls in your court. Balls in your court.
And this is this is a good time. I want to point one out. Go ahead.
Well, the thing I wanted to close with is like, one of the things that has been infuriating me as a guy is always hearing anecdotes of people talking about their shitty fathers, and society loves piling on top of a shitty father. Oh, he sucks. Nobody questions it. You as a man or as a guy, share an anecdote about a shitty mother. Get ready for the Mongol horde to just run over you. Oh, she's your mother. Like you could tell them that she perpetrated the Holocaust herself, and they will always justify it as, well, she's your mother. And I just think that's so unfair.
Yeah, I do think, I don't know, I think some of the bubbles that I've been kind of going through, I have been seeing more and more of the forgiveness of a father than automatic forgiveness of mothers. Because I think it's still always going to be there. You're always going to assume one thing based on father, mother. But I have seen more and more people supporting dads as
I think that's also the whole point, though, is like we're trying to change that stigma that women are perfect and versus like, and men are not. And that's what I think we would try to change, that paradigm shift of saying like, it shouldn't matter if your mom or dad, both can be shitty, but there shouldn't be a default. Women is better, men, like, dads are bad, women, all right, moms are good. I think it just should be that, why can't there be shitty moms and shitty dads, or great moms and great dads? That's kind of what I argue. And most people just assume that because they don't know who you are in the internet, they're going to assume that your mom, they raised you, sure. And yeah, she did sacrifice a lot. But at the end of the day, like if she's acting this way, no one else is in the internet's going to care. They're just going to just be like, oh, I'll just forgive her and be a man or something. But it's, that she's the way she is. It's just, I'm saying that the point is that we should change that paradigm, though, to be like, men or dads are great too, or can be great, and then or women can be, not so great.
Yeah. On
I have a
that vein,
question for you.
I want to ask Mitch. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
Go question first.
I have a question for you. So, in your conversation, it seems like, all of this, like a communication gap most of the time, right? And then what you say is unwillingness to either be self-aware or even have someone tell them and reflect, that, hey, you are not being self-aware. But long story short, hey, when you mentioned that story about like she called you and then she was like, hey, I butt dialed you, right? In that situation, I'm curious, how would she respond if you were to say, well, did you think about me? Or, like, you can tell me if you were thinking about me. And that's fine. If you said that, okay, if you thought about me and you called me, that's fine. I appreciate it. What would she have said?
Dude, that is brilliant. And honestly, the next time she calls, I'm going to try that. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that is really good. Yeah. Like,
let me tell you this.
I am going to try to disarm her with kindness. Like, were you thinking about me? Like, yeah, no, it's fuck, dude. What to do? Yeah. If that's the breakthrough that I need, then.
Because I had a discussion. I just want to, because I learned like literally yesterday, I had a discussion with my dad because he was visiting. Yeah, he was visiting me, right? And my dad has this way to not directly ask questions, and it goes in my family. Like everyone try to assume. So like, here's a great example, right? So I was like, Dad, just stay here. I'll extend your ticket, right? What do you got to do when you go back? He's retired. Like you have nothing to do. So stay with your son. And then he was like, oh no, I have a wedding to go to. He has some wedding to go to next week and all that. So I was like, okay, I get it. And then my sister texted me like, hey, did you ask Dad? Does he want to stay? I'm like, yeah, I asked him and he wants to go. So I was like, okay, and then my sister calls my dad and I'm sitting right next to it. My sister asked like, do you want to stay? I will extend the ticket. And my dad's like, no, I feel like he's not going to his like work and business because I'm here. And I'm like, I was like, I didn't say anything, but after, he hung up, I told him, well, you didn't tell me. So like, why didn't you ask me directly that are you not going to work or your business because I'm here? And I would have told you that I only go once a week, right? But you didn't ask me, you assumed. And now, we are in this situation where everyone's just assuming stuff, right?
Bro, I can tell you Puerto Rican parents do the same shit.
Our mom does the same thing.
I told him, if you want a clear answer, ask me a very direct question. Because if you don't ask your kids a very direct question, your kids cannot trust you and you will never get a clear, direct answer, right? So like, hey,
And to your point, you can confront your own parents by just putting them on the stand by giving them a very clear cut and direct question.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's,
Yeah. The question that I wanted to ask Mitch was, going back to the conversation about what the stigma behind fathers is. Mitch, now that you're a newer father, newer, how do you feel? Because I'm sure you've thought about it. Like, how do you feel about this stigma that revolves around dads? Like, how would you feel if you went to the park with your kid and they were like, "Oh, you're babysitting?" Like, "No, motherfucker, I'm dadding. Like, I'm being a parent." Like, how do you feel about the low bar that there seems to
that's
be
true.
around dads?
I'm trying my best right now to get over what that perceived low bar is. And I'm challenged by it sometimes, simply because work has I think hurt my ability to be more present than I would like to be. For example, I have to drive 45 plus minutes to and from work every single day. Being in the military, it's like I have to wake up before he's awake, and I get home 30 minutes before his bedtime. And it's a struggle because I feel like an absent father sometimes. I do my best to try to help Kenzie, but it's still sometimes I feel like I am not as present as I would like to be.
Do you feel as the male partner in your relationship that there is also a expectation of being to a certain degree a provider, or even do you put any of that upon yourself?
I don't automatically. Okay, wait. Let me make sure I understand this right. Is your question is there? Do I feel that there is an expectation that because I'm a man, I'm supposed to be a provider only to my
Not
wife?
only, but just that you should be.
Will I have that expectation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think I do have that expectation that I need to make sure that there is a house over my kid and my wife's head every single day, that they have the ability to pay for food. However, I have the luxury right now where Kenzie works.
Yeah.
If she has, like, if she wants to, she could pay for everything herself. So that's again, another struggle of mine where, granted, she works from home, where it's like, all right, I do feel useless sometimes. And I'm trying to think of creative ways to make up for my feeling of uselessness. Because I'm not present all the time. I don't feel like I am needed to pay for the house and the food because Kenzie works, and I am not as present as I would like. If I'm done with work early, I'll pick him up and I'll do what I can to play with him and stuff like that. But it still feels like I am not. It could be all in my head, but just with the way that I am,
And that's a fair point.
period of life.
It could be all in you. It could be. I mean, and you bring a very fair point. Like if it's all in your head, or if it's not, but you're questioning, there is a degree of this expectation that is also psychological.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me say something. So, well, first of all, Mitch, I don't think you should, or anyone should feel that way, like you're less than what you feel like you should be, because you are given 110%. Or if you already think that, then you probably already are. And if but if you say that and they're not actually performing it, then you're just disingenuous. But, so let's, for the fact that you're even recognizing that you are wanting to do better, that's the first step too. But if I'm being real, like the one thing that you could just improve is, less technology in phone time. Like, if you want to be more engaged with Anson and, from when as much time as you want, just don't even have your phone on you. Just, be with him, play with him. Don't have your phone in like a different room, have it like not on silent, and just forget about technology. Just have you and him time, and you and Kenzie and him time, and just be with him. Cause that's like a big barrier. Like, even though he's won, he still he's still impressionable. And that would be, if you want to be better, like that's one big factor, I think, in today's age too, with technology and phones and, communication, like you're having this other outside field of world, like impact your personal bubble. And you just need to let that go and spend time with your family.
Especially in the military where your email and inbox are constantly ringing.
So,
yeah, for sure.
So here's like the time. So like Ed mentioned, right? Like seemed like, for most of his life, he felt a little distant from his dad versus, you spent more time with your mom, I'm supposed, right, Ed?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, would you say, Mitch, that because of this expectation, maybe you're trying to spend more time forcefully versus just spend maybe less time, that whatever time you are spending, but maybe have your own thing? So it could be anything, right? I saw this podcast, I don't remember, but this guy has like a 2-year-old and they just talk random and he babbles and that's their thing, right? But I don't know. I mean,
You're
memories.
saying like more quality over quantity if
Yeah.
necessarily. Like you might not be spending the most time with them, but whenever you do get a little bit of time, you just try to make the most out of it.
Yes. I let's see, before I left for school. So that's the other hard part. I am also away from Kenzie and Anson now for 3.5 months. Oh, it is a struggle. And before that, yes, I made it a point to try to spend more quality time with both of them. But Brennan's right. I think dropping the phone off more would solve a lot of my probable concerns. Focusing on playing a little bit more. But I think I don't know.
I also want to comment too about what Ed was mentioning. You were trying to say, like, do you have a kind of insecurity about being with Anson out, like you're at the park or you're, being a dad? But I feel like you shouldn't. I shouldn't even be a concern of
I'm not insecure at all by doing dad things. I am insecure about his safety of where what is it? Kenzie has a way of parenting. I have a way of parenting. I am afraid that I am not going to meet her expectation of parenting. And I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him to get hurt. And then I feel like I am a failure from that perspective too. So it's like, again, it's going to be internalized pressure.
Let me ask you this as a counter then. If you're equal partners in this marriage and in this journey of parenthood, if you have different standards and this is how you feel, do you feel like your wife also struggles with meeting your expectations of parenting?
No, because she's always right and whatever.
I have a question. When you say
But
when you say maybe like playing rough with him, or like what do you mean by like hurt him?
oh no. I think I'm trying to think of an example.
I mean, you don't want to baby your baby either, right? I mean,
So I'm actually the one that babies him more because when we take him to swimming, I'm like, and he's supposed to go underwater. I'm over here freaking out of him being underwater for 1 second, and Kenzie's over here like, he can go under for 5 seconds. He's done it before, and I'm like, I don't want him to drown. Absolutely not. Like I'm the helicopter parent. Like Kenzie's the one that's like, it's fine. He's a boy. He'll get dirty. He'll scrape his knees, and I'm over here like, no, he's got to be pristine and perfect, and I don't want him to get hurt at all.
I'm on her side. You can Sparta him in the pool. We're good.
I am the opposite. Granted, I think it's like, he's my boy. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't know. It's a weird dynamic that I think I have internally, to where I think I'm trying to be a good father. And by being a good father in my head, it's like, I need to make sure he doesn't get hurt or nothing bad happens to him. So it's a weird, I thought I would be the complete opposite. I'd be like, oh, it's fine. He's a boy, blah, blah, blah. But I'm over here like, no, I have to make sure he is not hurt at all. And he is clean and he is constantly like not getting dirty or putting things in his mouth. I mean, obviously not putting things in his mouth is definitely.
That's my fool's errand.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know. Did I answer your question? I feel like I'm rambling. I don't know if I'm.
No, I mean, yeah.
We'll go with a yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have a question, Mitch. Do you have does the Ensign have a dog with your face on it? But you should have a
No.
giant like that stand poster that we have in the army. You should have that one of yours, bro, in the fucking
You
corner.
should get
and
your
you can bring it
son
to-
a Mitchell waifu pillow.
Oh,
Oh, good.
I don't want your nightmares.
You
I don't want your
should-
nightmares. Nope. It's a boo-boo. Yes. All right, but that's on my Christmas present right now.
The when he
Give me your
presses, it
disapproval.
says, "Get off the sand," or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know, but
Bring-
you should
bring-
consider that. You should buy that, the life-size cutout of you in the uniform or something.
I was
I don't
gonna
know,
say
like-
that. I was gonna say that I honestly have like very kind of similar situation with my wife Natalie. She has her way of doing things, and I have my way of doing things. And I would say ultimately we have fights about this where why can't we try one way, we try the other, or we have to bend to somebody else's, like basically like if she gets her way, I'm upset. If I get my way, she upset. It just never ends up always well. But I think the end result really was more just recognizing that, at least personally too, is that I have these like control issues. And I think us being brothers, we probably were raised very similarly, that you have a control issue and I have control issues about, just letting things go. Like there's nothing, like, the end result is going to be the same, in the end of the day. Maybe more dirtier her way, maybe less dirtier her way, but in the end, he's still a breathing. I mean, you could still be there and present, but you don't, like, I think just recognizing of like, okay, he's gonna be okay. Like I'm here, but I am not trying to be like controlling, because I think that would be more toxic, to always have that control for raising a child, because then they're gonna be like resentful about that. So
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question based on that. Did you guys, before you had your first child, have the parenting question with your wives of what it was? Was there this is the joint direction in which we are going. How do you want to parent him? Okay, this is how I want to parent him. How did that go?
I think we talked about it. We basically said that we would disown him if he had specific beliefs.
See, and I bring up the question because there seems to be this dynamic that because the woman births the child, she automatically gets 51% of the vote, so she has controlling share of what happens.
You got
And
street credits.
I feel like I feel like a lot of the time the father also gets pushed away because it's like, well, mother knows best, and there's that weird dynamic where dad's rules don't really matter as much as mom's rules, or
Okay.
Thing.
Hold on. I think, and this might not be the right way to go about this. So knowing how busy I was after his birth, and the way my wife is, and how she, when she goes in on something, she will go 150% researching anything and everything about that specific topic. Like whenever she wants to buy something new, she will go balls to the wall learning about that subject. Like it's almost like I think she called it OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. And so she was very knowledgeable, I think, about parenting skills and styles and stuff like that.
She's very methodical.
She's very methodical. Knowing how my schedule was and how busy I was going to be over this past year, like I wholeheartedly trusted her ability, and knowing that like we have very similar beliefs, very similar goals, very similar mindsets. I trusted her in her ability to parent and like do most of the what she does say go. It was like, it wasn't something that I fought against, because everything that she did, I was like, yeah, I would do the same thing. Or yeah, I would agree with the same. So we don't have different morals or beliefs of how we would like want to raise him. So I'm probably not the best person to be able to say like, oh, did we have that talk? We did, but it was like, all right, we're on the same page. So I trust you.
And you're on the same page on the macro. It's really just the minor techniques per se, where you might not necessarily be the same, which is fair. I mean,
yes,
no two people are the same, obviously.
So like gentle parenting, that was the I guess the red herring, the elephant in the room type of thing of like, obviously we don't want to yell at him. He's a baby. He doesn't understand logic or reason. He has to, and I acknowledge. So when she got her puppy, I had one way of thinking of how to discipline said puppy, to which it's the opposite of how she would discipline said puppy if he pooped in the house. To which then her logic, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a new way of like how to go about getting a baby or a dog to do something that you want. And so I've had to learn that because I don't want to cause him trauma, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like we were a little traumatized for something growing up.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
Culture. I don't know if you're referring to when you say traumatizing, being yelled at and stuff, but I mean, I got beat up, I don't know. I grew up in India, and, in Indian culture, you get beat,
Bro,
you
that's
go to
minority
school,
culture. I'm right there with you.
Out of you, I mean, the flip-flops are flying,
Yeah. We had something called the blue whacker.
But hey, look,
we had the blue whacker. It's a piece of rubber.
Yeah. But so the point I'm trying to make,
is that when you strangle your dick?
So like, the thing is, and so like a lot of time you don't remember what people did for you, but you remember how they made you feel, right? And I think that's what matters, right? Because a lot of time we don't remember. Remember the one time you gave me $6,000, and then you had no clue about it. You didn't remember that. It was in like
wait, when did I ever give you $6,000?
We talked about this during
like I gave dinner.
Like in 2019. I mean, I gave you back in like a week, but I had texted you because I needed to show cash.
Oh.
And then you just like, you didn't ask me anything. You didn't ask me when I was gonna return it. I was just like, hey Mitch, can you send me $6,000?
Oh, but wait a second. I could get $6,000 right now. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You
I remember
me.
now.
And then, like last year or a year before, when I was visiting you on your birthday and we had a dinner with Kenzie, and I mentioned this and you had no clue. You don't even remember that. But see, like, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, you may not remember the things you do or whatever, but people remember the feeling they get when you're around. That being said, what is your favorite thing to do with Anson? Like, what do you do? Or like, what's your favorite thing to do?
Man.
That he enjoys, or, I don't know. Not you enjoy. I don't care about you.
Just seeing him do. He's actually been really good about throwing, like, getting balls and throwing them back and forth. So, like, I don't know, just seeing him learn about the world right now. He's a little young, you know. He's 14 months, so he's still learning how to do things. So honestly, that's my favorite thing, is like seeing him learn new things, how, like, learn new things, see new things, and just like going to like travel to a new spot. He's just all like, oh, this is new. I've never seen this before. So that's kind of cool right now.
These things are different.
Exactly stuff. Okay.
It also seems like you really enjoy documenting it too. You like always have your camera with you, so you just like to document like
That's great.
experience that he has, or just that I feel like is your favorite thing. Even though it's like you just experience him grow. Like that seems like the overall like favorite thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Being
Okay.
I want to
I think-
also
hold
just
on.
kind of circle
Hold
back,
on.
but
I was saying, I think we've been, let's get back on topic. But I mean, we're about an hour in right now. So let's transition to something weird. Okay. I think we've done a lot of real things. Enough about me. All right. Let's actually, I have a weird thing that I want to say, but before we do go into that, is it all right? Is there like really something pressing that y'all want to still talk about for the real thing? Or we'll go to the next episode when we talk about it. Okay, cool. All right. Next one.
I'd like to talk about deep
Wait,
political beliefs.
Am I still here? Can you
Deep what?
Political beliefs?
Oh.
Just I'd like to really
Oh,
dive
absolutely
into
not.
politics.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to silence you.
Okay, I don't know what's going
We
on.
lost
My face is reconnecting.
We've lost him.
It's not a Manwit episode unless we lose somebody.
It is not. I'm going to let him know that we saw him.
I don't have anything. I was just talking shit. I don't want to talk about politics. This shit sucks.
Oh, dude. Amen, brother.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's politics. It's something weird. So as y'all know, I'm in class. I'm in a military class at Fort Leavenworth right now, for the next 3.5 months. Shit. Okay. I am in.
Just believe it, bro. That'll make you sound cooler.
Let's just say I am at a military base with a very famous prison. And so being here, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. One, didn't realize how big this prison was. Two, first week here, oh, there's a 5K here, which is the prison break for 5. Like, cool. Like a prison break 5K. I'm like, bro. That's weird.
Lean into the humor.
Prisoners participate?
I don't think so. I think you just run a 5K. I think it's from the old prison, but I still think that was funny. And then our instructor was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the prisoners cut hair," and I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "Yeah, they use a straight razor and everything." I'm like, "Absolutely not."
Oh, shit.
Nah. I mean, he's the non-violent offender. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care how cheap these haircuts are.
I don't care if you cheated on your taxes. You're not touching me with that shit.
I am sure that they're great. They're trying to rehabilitate and they're trying to do what they can being in prison, and I commend them for that. I absolutely. But I just thought that was a weird thing upon my arrival to like hear of like all of the prison related things that are here, that I was like, oh, that's interesting. I just never thought about that. It was just the fascinating weird thing. So that's my weird thing for this week. Does anybody else have anything weird?
say something weird. So I think it was a few days ago. Randomly, I got a call from my cousin Matthew that he was just called me out of the blue. I never didn't talk to him for like the past few years. But a few like almost 10 years ago, I went to Japan backpacking with him, and at the time it was just me and him. And when we went, he was apparently like he was arrested and he went to prison, and not to prison. I think it was just to jail, but he had like a whole shift of his like religious base, and he's like is now very like, he's
Very
reading the
religious.
Bible like daily, and he's very religious. And he just called me yesterday. He called me the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just thinking about you and thinking about our Japan trip, and now, I wish I could have done something different because when we went to these temples, he was like, I can't go in there because it's not a place of God or something like that because they have Buddhists and all that stuff, and there's no." So it was just he kind of regrets his experience, but he just kind of called me out of the blue because he's just thinking about me. But he was like, yeah, so like what's going on family wise? And well, I also, Mitch knows this, but my wife is pregnant, and we found out before we left. And he was like, whoa, that's crazy that, he was just thinking about me. And I don't know, just sometimes these things, I mean, I'm not religious, but, sometimes like I do wonder if there is still like a power that kind of makes people, if there is a religion or anything like that, it just, gets into
Some
people's heads.
coincidences seem too coincidental.
Yeah. So, but that was just like kind of a weird experience because I haven't talked to him for like a few years. I think maybe I talked to him last year, but it's just like very few, far between. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it goes to show how important it can be to just randomly call someone. that you
Yeah, I
found
think
out. That's what we used to do back in the day before we had social media, like just randomly call someone. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So
Now you gotta clear it with them via text, like, hey, is it cool if I call you? Like, ew, no, I'm busy.
before I think of it was like he's like calling me out of the blue. Is like, oh my god, he's in danger or something.
Yeah, like how dare you call me without first like clearing with me being my personal secretary?
hey, I'm sorry, didn't mean to like. My bad.
What's funny
In
is
any
like
case,
I usually just
Like, you dumbass.
my bad, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right. Any
Brendan, congrats, Brendan.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats,
Yeah,
Brendan. Congrats, Brendan, on the baby announcement. But you're first, yes. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if I should say anything.
But that was also like a good thing that happened too. It's more of like a very long good thing. Nothing like, but yeah, that's just as these like weeks go on, those are a lot of stuff that me and Natalie are talking about with, names, and then also her OBGYN appointments and just kind of planning. And so it's like a continuous like, thing that we're doing right now. So, and fortunately I'll be back whenever she delivers. I'm only here for 6 months, or I'm away for 6 months, but when I come back, then I'll be there to support her.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Brendan's also deployed.
Yeah.
For those of you also violating OPSEC,
Yeah.
Please tell me where he's being deployed at.
mine's also somewhat baby related. We can go in depth on the next episode. But about a month ago, I got a vasectomy. And weird.
I was like, what's
Weird.
It's already out.
Yeah, no. Well, I got no. I don't.
Mitch and Brendan,
I have a
meant
third
up
baby.
for the slacker, to keep the butt.
There's no slacking here, bro. We're no slacking here.
Mitch,
Weird fact. Once they cut the vas deferens or whatever the fucking spermy tube is called, your testicles may settle in a different position on your sack. And now my right sack always wants to chafe against my right thigh. And my hand is in my pants like every 5 fucking minutes.
Geek man content that we all need to know.
Like, forgives the knowledge.
this
Not
is
medical advice. But you should be.
We
you
need
may
a
be
whole episode on this.
unsacred.
We need a whole episode on this.
Yeah.
That's the rest. Yeah, he wants to know more about your right nut.
Well, on the next episode.
Yeah, because I actually we could talk about it too later, but I saw a guy. Okay, he came in and he did have a vasectomy, but then he had a vasectomy reversal, and he was like, but I didn't. I tried not to like ridicule him because at the time he was with his wife at the time, and he was 27 though, and he had one kid, and then he got a vasectomy. I was like, well, first of all, like, what were you thinking doing that immediately after? Ended up divorcing, and he was like 32, and he's like, well, I have to basically get this reversed now because no one's gonna want to be with a man 32. So I'm actually curious, like, why did you do it, and also, do you have any, like, you obviously shouldn't have any regrets, but at the same time, like, I'm curious, like, the mindset.
Any hint of regret revolves around my new permit chafing. But yes, we can. I'm down. This can be episode 2 of season 2. Ed's vasectomy journey.
I mean, instant decision-making process. Like,
for sure, yeah. Yeah.
That decision. Because, I mean, it is quite a big decision.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I'm a whole episode about my balls. That's awesome.
That's what we're here for. Balls.
Absolutely. I also, okay. There's another topic that I've been waiting to hear about. No. I want to hear about your murder wife story at some point in the future.
The teaser for season 2.
It's about time.
It is time to hear this entire story. That
I don't know this story. I want to know this.
I have.
Is this gonna be Patreon content?
Mitch is the only one that really knows.
No.
I called him and told him.
I've had direct.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
yeah,
man,
and then I was like, wait a
talked to
second,
him
I remember
years.
you, and then I'm like, it's like, yeah, and because I had something similar happen to me. I'm part of Matt's story. It was murder wife.
You're part of this.
So listeners, this week, Mitch should drop a poll in Instagram somewhere in social media, and you guys can vote on murder wife versus my balls. And then whichever one polls higher, we'll talk about first. But we'll talk about them both.
I think that's fair. I think, yeah, because I really.
We need content, and Ed's balls.
Ed's balls is really high up there. Sure, many people want to hear about this.
I'm down.
Drew, all right, hold on. Okay, what's another weird thing? I think it's Matt, and then Drew. We'll finish up with you.
I mean, I don't know what weird thing.
Anything weird happened?
My, Elaine. I had an appointment with Elaine.
Gate God. Are we adding this to a third episode? Because this is a whole other fucking can of worms. Good God.
Tell me.
So,
Please tell me you didn't do something you regretted.
no, I mean, I felt like she was a little shy, and she had an do my appointment, and then she comes in, like I go in, and it's an intern, so I'm like, what happened? Where is my my doc? And she's like, hey, I'm so and so, Dr. So and so. I'm an intern here. Is it okay if I see you? And then Elaine goes like, I'm like, what's going on in here? But anyway, I think she knows. I think she saw my profile on Hinge because I don't see her profile anymore. So, like, that means that she saw my profile and didn't swipe right.
And now it mentioned podcast, and now you're a full
Elaine is my psychiatrist.
Are you in love with your psychiatrist? And that's
Hey, this is like a Joker. Like this is
no,
like
no,
Oh, no, don't you dare.
no,
Don't
no,
about that.
no. Nope. All right. Any last things before we close this out?
I haven't even.
No, I can always keep the word. All right, I think that's it. All right, no problem. All right, hey, guys, thanks. If you made it this far, good job. Surprising made it this far. Good job. No, hey, appreciate you all being here. I thought that went really well, and I appreciate all the stories. I needed this. It's been a minute since we've actually sat down and like just talked. So I'm hoping this is gonna be our new format moving forward with how we conduct this podcast. I really enjoyed it, and definitely talked about topics that I think will make me think about how to be a better man, how to be a better father, and how to be a better friend. So thank y'all for that. Any last minute closing comments from any one of y'all?
Like and subscribe.
Use the balls. Oh yes.
Forget the balls.
Like and subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget the balls. Yes.
They're always there.
This is the Man We're in Trouble podcast signing out. Boom. And